Week 1 of the high school football season. We are ready to get back underway here with more West Branch football. We start things off up at Lisbon. And Jason, I don't know about you. I was thinking about it this week. Last year is just kind of a blur. Just the way things have gone around the world for the last 18 months, just things don't really click. It feels good, though, to be back and say, let's focus moving forward on a new season of West Branch football.
That there's no secondary things going on that you have to plan. So the football game on Friday, everybody's got to do this or this or this. Now we can just concentrate on football and concentrate we will on Lisbon this Friday night.
Yeah, that's going to be a good one to start things off. This is a Lion team that, depending on the poll you look at, I think I've seen 2 or 3 of them that they're top 10. I think one of them they were top 5, number 4. A lot of guys coming back from a squad that made to the playoffs last year, lost in the quarterfinal round, but they had some youth, and they've got that experience coming back now. So it's going to be an exciting matchup to see how this shapes out.
Yeah, and the Bears and the Lions haven't played since 2015. That was a 2-day affair, if memory serves. As it's storming outside right now, it kind of brings back some memories of 2005 where Friday night's game moved into Saturday, and I think the Bears were lucky enough and prevailed 42-7, I think, in that night. But it's not going to be anywhere near that. It's going to be a very physical football game, traditional running football team, run, and more run, right, Steven?
Yeah, it's 6 different guys last year had over 20 carries that are coming back. They had, I think, 1 or 2 more that were beyond that. And, they like to spread it around. We talked about it in the podcast a little bit. Kind of similar to the Tipton attack where you come from all different angles, but it's not really that single wing spinner back kind of crazy circus act. This is more just, hey, we're going to run a belly option series. We're going to run a dive. We're going to run a sweep back the other way. A lot of counters. I mean, they just find different ways to come at you and keep that defense honest.
Yeah, and that's the key. The key phrase, I think, is keeping the defense honest. Sooner or later, the 3 yards, 4 yards, 5 yards on a cloud of dust, or the 4 yards plus 4 yards plus 4 yards equals a
first down
mentality.
Lineman math.
They're going to bring, and you're going to bring it in. You're going to bring it in. You're going to bite. You're going to come in and attack the line of scrimmage, and then they're going to pull it back, and we're going to go over the top. As the Bears, it's going to be a different attack than what Durant of last year had, but 3 times last year they beat the Bears deep after they were diving and hold DeLong to just 20 yards on the game. But if you stop that, then you got to be careful. And they take one shot down, then you loosen things up, and then they can really push on you in that line of scrimmage, and it bites.
Yeah, and you talk about that line of scrimmage and that lineman math. Well, they've got those big bodies up front to help pave the way for that rushing attack too.
Pretty much all of them returned from last year, which we've said it through the years. Specifically, for just to give an example, is Bellevue from a couple of years ago when they were going through a very, very good 3-year stretch of football. They had the same offensive line for 3 years. Lisbon finishes the season last year 7-3 as a quarterfinalist in Class A and returned basically the entire football team. Majority of their skill position players, as he already chronicled, and majority of the real skill position players, which are the 5 guys up front. You can't replace experience. And when you've got it coming back, it usually breeds for success.
Yeah. It's always fun week 1, too, because, it's a new year. And you talk about, even if you are bringing a lot of guys back, it's still a different year. Right. People have grown. They've matured. They've done things differently. Their interests have changed. And so, it's always key to see how you respond here in this week 1 game to really kick off this season, hopefully doing so on a good note.
Right. And for West Branch, they don't have that same luxury, so to speak, of bringing a bunch of guys back. Only 15 kids in the junior and senior classes combined are out for football. So the depth that they had maybe last year, some of those that experience, you lose a Division I football player, you lose arguably the best throwing quarterback in the history of the school, one of the best, okay, I don't want to offend anybody else, but a very experienced runner and passer in Gavin Hirschman. Those things are tough to replace at a small school. But what they do have are guys, and the guys that are returning, Stephen, I think are in really good positions, like key positions, where you got Drake Berry, and you've got the Belk twins, who as sophomores got some key experience, and really Andy Henson as a running back, as physically matured to about 6'2" to 205 pounds. He's going to be a load, a la Tanner Lukowski from a couple years. So what the Bears don't return, as you compare it to Lisbon, Stephen, they do return guys in some key, leadership in key positions, and I think that's going to play a huge role for them as we get going.
Yeah, that's the other key, is to see how those transition and get some of those younger guys up to speed and ready to go. So we'll get to see all of that Friday night. 7 o'clock will be the kickoff. Our first Bearcast coverage starts with the 6:30 pregame right here at westbranch.football.